This week on Final Descent Outdoors, we travel to Oklahoma to hunt with pro staffer Michael Harrell as he hunts for 2 trophy whitetail bucks.
Dude, I'm a stud.
Thank you, Lord. Baby, woohoo!
Final Descent Outdoors is brought to you by Danner Boots, Feather Flodge Ducks in a Row Camo, Countrymen Innovations, makers of the Jake Intimidator, and Covert Scouting Cameras.
Well, in this episode, we're going to show you about a deer that came into my life 3 years ago. We're actually going to create a timeline, jump back in time a little bit, and just show you how this deer completely changed the way I hunted and viewed life in general. Well, this obsession begins with finding a set of sheds off of a deer that was 3.5 years old that scored 167 with busted tines. We named this deer Big Boy, and then we acquired a lease that bordered the property. Little did we know that Big Boy actually lived on this property. Well, one of the first things that we do when we acquire a property, I mean any property, is we go in, we scout it really good, we find the trails, and we establish mineral stations. And once we establish the trails and the mineral stations, we actually begin to hang our game cameras. And knowing that Big Boy was on a property next to it, you know, we were really excited to see if we were going to get pictures of him on this property. Well, we've got the cameras hung, you know, we got them set in place, and me and the buddy that I acquired this lease with decided to go in and check them. And to our surprise, we actually got pictures of Big Boy. Well, we get home and put the card in the computer. You know, we got the pictures of Big Boy, and he has grown in 1 year's time from a 167-inch deer to around a 185, 190. And this is truly where the obsession began for me. Well, you know, we go on to hunt this deer the rest of the year and just hunt him as hard as we can hunt him with no luck at all. And you know, this isn't Kansas. This is southeastern Oklahoma in the mountains. So to be hunting a deer of this caliber, you know, I feel truly blessed. So I can't wait till the next year. You know, I had many sleepless nights, just constantly thinking and dreaming about Big Boy and what this deer could do in my hunting career and how it could further me in the industry. Well, all I can say is it was a long spring and summer for me. You know, thoughts of Big Boy constantly. You know, what could this deer do for me in my hunting career? You know, just to be able to hunt a giant like that is a blessing, but that's all I could think about. It started to consume my life. So it's time to put out cameras and stuff again. We're working our mineral stations, even planting food plots, and we get more pictures of Big Boy. You know, a new season's rolled around, and he's got a big drop tine. Actually has 2 drop tines, and he has grown to be a little over a 200-inch giant. So, you know, my obsession just keeps building and getting bigger and bigger. Well, over the last 3 years, Adam and I actually had 4 encounters with Big Boy. Once had him at 30 yards, and I could see his throat patch, and I could have shot him with a muzzle loader. We didn't have him on camera. You know, just things weren't coming together. We actually could have shot this deer 3 times out of the 4 encounters, and we just had to let him walk because it wasn't on camera. And that was part of the greed that had developed in me, you know, through this deer. You know, it's all I could think about is what could this deer do for my career. and where was it going to lead me in my career. And through that, what I began to do is I began to put God on the back burner, my family, my friends, and my finances.
Well, you know, I wanted Mike to kill Big Boy. And as time pressed on, I really started to notice a change in my friend. And, you know, me and Mike have become really close friends. We filmed for 3 years together. And I noticed a big change in Mike, and we weren't having fun. We'd get down out of the stand, and basically all we were doing was grumbling, you know. And one Wednesday night, Mike called me after church, and he told me that during their Bible study, the Lord spoke through him through Scripture, and he said, "Adam, I'm not going to kill Big Boy."
Well, that night after church, I make my phone calls, and I make things right with the people that I had been putting on the back burner for the last couple of years while I was hunting this deer. And I just decided that night to get on my knees for the first time in a long time, and I turned it all over to God. Well, the next morning I wake up, and you know, I go outside to watch the sunrise, and I get a phone call from a friend, and his exact words, first thing he says to me is, "Big Boy is dead." And at that time, I just felt like a ton of bricks was lifted off my shoulders, and I just felt so much better about everything, that this deer was finally out of my life. But I still wanted to see him. You know, I hunted this deer hard, got several thousand pictures of him. So I called the guy that harvested him. He happened to be a friend of mine as well, and I drove up to see him and shoot some video of him. I had to get my hands on him and see what he really was. He had actually broke off about 11 inches of main beam and broke both his drop tines off. So he lost about 14, 15 inches, and he still scored 186. Well, Big Boy's dead, and I was completely at ease with that, completely comfortable with it. I decided to make a change in my life. I'm ready to have fun and start hunting the way that I know how to hunt again, and put God first. So with those changes in place, you know, I get a phone call the following summer, and God just begins to bless us, you know, once we turn everything over to Him and put Him first. Dan Bell with Bell Wildlife Specialties has invited me to come to Kansas and do a muzzleloader hunt. So I asked fellow pro staffer Brad Russell if he can go film me. Me and Brad hop in the truck, and we're headed to Kansas. Well, we get to Kansas, and the deer that Dan's got for us to hunt is an absolute giant, you know, 170-inch deer. And you know, weather just didn't cooperate. It was hot. We actually had an opportunity to shoot the deer at 25 yards and just ran out of camera light. So we had to let the deer walk. But I can tell you this, Dan Bell knows his stuff, and he sure put us on the deer. Well, we're back in Oklahoma. We start our bow season. It starts a little bit slow. And I get a phone call from my good friend Ryan Hodges. He's just harvested a 150-inch deer. And he tells me, "Man, I've got another giant that I'm getting pictures of. Why don't you come over to my place and you can hunt this deer?" Well, the next morning rolls around, we get in the stand, and I mean, it's still dark. We're there an hour early, and we've already got deer coming in and feeding under us.
This segment has been brought to you by Central States Trailers and Big Game Gear.
Hi, I'm John Stallone of the Hunting Channel Online, and if you're looking for a place to hunt monster bucks, look no further than Illinois' Extreme Whitetails. These guys have got it all. Great food, great lodge, great people, and best of all, big boys like this. If you mention this commercial and use your Hunting Channel Online membership, you'll save 10% on your next hunt. So give these guys a call, and we'll see you out in the field.
Is this how you transport your harvested game? You wouldn't take a T-bone, throw it in the back of your truck, and then drive 30 miles down a dirt road and then throw it on a grill, would you? Hey, if you're going to eat it, be careful about how you treat it. The trophy bag is a state-of-the-art thermal insulated bag for the transportation of your animal. The Trophy Bag Cooler, the cleaner, neater solution for transporting harvested game or aging meat. To get yours, go to trophy-bag-cooler.com or these fine retailers.
You know that Murray State College in Tishomingo, Oklahoma is one of only 4 schools in the entire United States offering a gunsmithing program? The 2-year program will give you all the knowledge you need to work on any gun on the market. Don't have time for a full semester of classes? Ask about their summer NRA gunsmithing courses. Small classes, great facilities, and great instructors will give you the tools you need to be a professional gunsmith.
Life's too short. Why don't you do something you love? Murray State College. From here, go anywhere.
Well, as the sun comes up, you know, like I said, we begin to see these deer, and they're feeding underneath the feeder. And in Oklahoma, feeders are legal. You know, it's completely legal, and it's completely fair chase. These are fair chase animals. And we've got bucks underneath this, and we've got one that I feel like I want to shoot. When all of a sudden this deer throws his head up, he bristles up and begins to walk away from the feeder. Instantly, I knew that another buck was coming. Didn't know what buck, but I knew it was one coming. But I told Adam, I bet that's the big freak nasty we're after. Yeah, that's him, that's him. Get on him. He jumped like I hit him. I don't know. He looked like he jumped sideways. Oh, man. Boom. You know, I'm looking at Adam, and Adam doesn't know what to think. And, you know, we're starting to see deer move again, you know, instantly after the shot. So, you know, the right thing to do is to get down and look. I can see part of my arrow laying 3 to 4 feet from the feeder, and it just doesn't make sense that my arrow's broke and it's laying that far from the feeder. So I decided to get down and go take a look.
Oh, he's down there. Oh my God.
This right here is a southeastern Oklahoma stud. Man, this has been a long time coming. I have not shot a bow buck in 5 years. I have passed deer after deer waiting on a monster. And we hunted so hard for big boy last year, a big 200-inch deer. This right here is so rewarding. I'm just so grateful to God for putting this deer in front of us. This big buck come in this morning. Adam's behind the camera, and at daylight we had two bucks come in, and one was a shooter 8. I was going to shoot the shooter 8, and all of a sudden we hear something behind us. Daylight's starting to get right, and Adam's starting to lay the footage down, and we hear this deer coming in, and the 8-point leaves and approaches him. We hear a snort wheeze, and then we hear a buck start thrashing bushes. We couldn't see him yet, but we could hear him, so we knew it was a bigger deer. So when the shooter 8 walked back, I let him go and waited for this deer to come in. And I'm glad I waited. This deer's actually got 2 drops. They don't actually drop. Here's his main beams here. This one drops, but they just dagger out. And this deer's got at least 8-inch mass around right here. He's got about 5-inch bases. It's just a really good specimen of a southeastern Oklahoma deer. It's just a giant for down here. Nice chocolate rack. Just an awesome kill.
This segment has been brought to you by Trophy Bag Cooler and K&K Custom Guns.
We take pride in sharing with you action-packed hunting. We also enjoy sharing the good news of Jesus Christ. The Final Descent guys travel throughout the year speaking at men's retreats, father-sons retreats, and wild game dinners, and would love to be a part of your next event. To book the Final Descent crew, go to our website or shoot us an email. We would love to help you reach men in your community.
Dude.
What?
You're freaking me out.
Outdoor Edge's new swing blade is 2 blades in 1. Changes from skinny knife to the ultimate cutting blade. Game processor and Butcher Light. The highest quality butcher kits for the home processor. Do it yourself and save with our instructional game processing DVDs. Outpack, the most complete big game set in a roll pack organizer. The Cody Pack and Trophy Pack are the ultimate knife saw combos.
I guarantee these are the best knives you'll ever own. Call us at 800-447-EDGE or visit our website at OutdoorEdge.com.
And when we walked up to it, you know, from the trail cam pictures that Ryan had showed me, you know, we knew he was a nice non-typical, but we didn't know the deer was that massive and had double drops. So that was a big surprise for me. And man, you just talking about rewarding to be able to kill a double drop time buck. Man, it was just awesome.
Well, scratch one off the list. Mike hits pay dirt the first weekend of Oklahoma bow season. And 2 weeks later, we're headed to southeastern Oklahoma to Mike's personal lease, and we're in the middle of a thunderstorm.
It's October 23rd, day 1 muzzleloader here in Oklahoma. As you can see, we got a doe and yearling out in front of us. And the big doe starsels are already black. They're already coming in. We're in a full moon right now, so it's cloudy and hot. We'd like to be in a deer stand. It's supposed to be raining all day, so we chose to set in a lemonade stand. This is where Mason killed his 150, so I'm gonna get quiet and shut up because we got live decoys in front of us. Same situation as Mason's hunt. Big buck comes in, he'll see him and hopefully come in here. Oh, there's a deer at the back. At the very, very back. What is that? That's a buck. Oh God, it's a shearer. It's the big 9. It's the big 9 point. I'm on him. I'm gonna let him come out. You're gonna have to hurry up or lose some blood. I can't shoot him right now. Double white throat edge. Yeah, that's him. It'll still good. I'm gonna let him go. Yeah, I'm gonna take him. Did you hear him crash or anything?
I heard him run in the woods.
Right. Did you see him jump? I mean, it was complete wide out. I couldn't see anything.
We're going to have to rewatch it.
But my scope started fogging up.
Hey, either way, man, that was awesome.
I can't stop shaking.
Dude, walking in, he looks like a stud. That was so tall.
I know. That double wide throw pass.
Oh, beautiful.
That's why I couldn't pass it.
This segment has been brought to you by G&H Decoys and Heartcraft Hunting Products. A blitz, by definition, is an overwhelmingly all-out attack. Buck Blitz is your all-out attack on big buck senses. The smell will draw in big bucks and keep them coming back again and again. Buck Blitz is more than an attractant. At 16% protein, it will help grow more bone on your deer. Grow them, hunt them, own them. Be prepared to bring them in close with Buck Blitz. To become a dealer or get yours today, go to buckblitz.com.
Have breakfast with a buck any day you choose. Introducing the Moultrie Game Management System. 4 new cameras featuring the very latest in scouting technology. And when connected by our GPS cellular modem to your private Moultrie webpage, you can manage your cameras and photos, as well as plan and plot your hunt anywhere, anytime. Even from your kitchen table. Moultrie, total game management.
Big bucks know when a doe is hot. Temptation is an electronic scent heater that heats any scent to the body temperature of a live deer. Temptation's heated scent vapors reach out to big bucks with the hottest, freshest scent trail in the woods. Temptation from Code Blue.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a good deer. He's tall. Wow, he's tall. Yeah, he's a little bit bloodied up. Yep, this is the big 9. He's broke off here. He broke off here. Look at all the trash around his bases. Just really, really trashy. Yeah, he broke that G3 off. He broke off probably not at least 8 inches of antler. He's still gonna score good, but I don't care. I'm tagged out in Oklahoma, baby.
Well, congratulations to Mike. You know, unbelievable year. I know it was a year that I didn't have. A little frustrated on my end, but for Mike, what an unbelievable year for him. You know, like he said, you know, being able to take 2 bucks, you know, really within 2 weeks of one another, a 150s, high 130s, unreal. I mean, that is why we do this. That's what it's about. And to have years like this, you know, they don't always come around that way. And it really was a phenomenal year for him. Congratulations to him. And man, what a season.
As I look back on this past deer season, you know, I wouldn't have traded this season for Big Boy. You know, I now know that Big Boy wasn't meant for me to kill, and the lessons that I've learned, you know, through that, the lessons that God has taught me through that are just priceless to me. You know, I decided to start having fun again and getting back to my roots and what I love to do, and that was to hunt deer. And you know, that night when everything changed for me, you know, the scripture that the Lord spoke to me through was James 4:3, which basically says, you know, you pray or you ask for things with wrong motives so that you may spend it on your own pleasures. And that's exactly what I was doing. You know, I would pray to God to let me kill Big Boy. And, you know, I knew that I would use that for my glory and not to glorify Him. And all I could think about was all the fame and fortune that this deer would bring me. And, you know, and that's not why I got into this industry anyways. I got into this industry to be a part of a ministry and because I love to hunt. Well, we want to thank you for watching this week's episode of Final Descent Outdoors, and God bless.
Well, after punching one of his Oklahoma tags the first week of bow season, oh my gosh, okay.
Well, we jump in the truck and we're headed to Kansas to hunt with Dan Bell, and oh man, the season rolls around. We're not getting no pictures of him at first. No, that's a lie. That's what it was for me. You know, there's all kinds of things that what was that? Did you hear that?